Hello? Is it me you're looking for? This is, Res Snapper here, aka Emj or MJ. And this is Step Up Past, the series where we look at the brand new cards coming to Marvel Snap each week. And this week we have got Grand Arena, the returning game mode that everyone bloody loved. They loved everything about it except the rewards, actually. The rewards were abysmal for 2 weeks. But hey, I'm pretty sure they're going to be absolutely massive this time. Well, not massive, but the recent game modes have had much better rewards. And Zombie Sentry's coming in that. He's a 3/4 on reveal, Horde +1 for each of your cards at the right location. I think this intro has been absolutely abysmal so far, so I'll be really interested to look at the analytics on this video. And hey, speaking of analytics, you should subscribe to this channel. If you enjoyed that intro, there's more like it coming. So, yeah, Grand Arena is running this time only for a week, which I think is actually a better decision. 27th of October to 3rd of November. And I believe that Zombie Sentry is presumably a purchasable card through the game mode. Unless there is a reward track and maybe he's on the reward track. We've actually just seen Sanctum Showdown come to the game and the Hunger was on the reward track. So it might be that way for Zombie Sentry. I don't know yet because I'm filming this video in advance, so I haven't got the full details yet. However, if you do miss him from Grand Arena, you can pick him up in snap packs. From December it should be, I think, and he's in Series 4, so he'll be in seasonal Series 4 snap packs. And I really like this Ivan Foreman variant. Oh god, did I spell Ivan Foreman's surname wrong on the previous video? Quite possible, quite possible. Anyway, yeah, I really like this variant, so this is pretty cool. Right, let's talk about the mechanics for the card. I think the archetypes is going to fit into, obviously, Horde. He is a Horde card. He is a Horde mechanic card. However, the Horde mechanic does feed in somewhat to Patriot as well. It does create a token which doesn't have abilities, which means that Patriot can buff it, and so maybe there's other things and other ways that Patriot likes the Horde mechanic. And also, I don't care guys, I've made an archetype, Block Trap. I've been dancing around this for a couple of months, thinking like, is this a real deck? First of all, is it a real deck? Second of all, no one knows what it is. I'd need to explain what it is. And third, like, can you really say it's an archetype? I don't care. Yes, you can. I'm making it an archetype. Block Trap. These are decks. I did actually make a video about it ages ago, which I think I called it like Shield Trap. But Block Traps is where you block a location, but you have ways that aren't necessarily obvious to get power into that location. So, for example, you could have a couple of created cards in there. Maybe they're arrows from Kate Bishop, so you can get power into it with Victoria Hand. Maybe you can get power into it with Mr. Fantastic and Moonstone, who can affect both of those things. Maybe Claw, maybe Kahori. And then, as you can hear, a lot of these strategies feed into a shield style deck. So it can often be a shield deck, doesn't have to be, but I think Zombie Sentry is going to be great for that archetype, which I'm saying exists. I play it, I win with it, it exists, don't care. So, what about Zombie Sentry then? He adds power to 2 locations. That is inherently good, possibly. Anyway, it can be good, can sometimes be a negative, but yeah, in this instance, I think we can say that it's a good thing. And if you play Zombie Sentry on the right location, he should count himself. You are playing him there. You can even play it to fill the location. Maybe you are doing a Block Trap style deck. Maybe you've played something on turn 1 and then you played Mr. Sinister on turn 2. You can fill this location with Zombie Sentry on turn 3 and get your 4 power Horde token, which is cool. And if you have no cards on the right, will the Horde be created as a 0 power token? A question mark I put, but actually I think I probably know the answer now because I asked Lauren Webs. And she suggested that actually this is like a multiplication effect, isn't it? On reveal, Horde +1 for each of your cards at the right location. So if you don't have any there, then the multiplication has nothing to deal with. So it probably won't actually create the token. So, pros. If you've blocked the right location, you can determine where the Horde will go. If you block the right, you play Zombie Sentry at one of the other 2, and then the Horde token will be created at the remaining location. That is if you haven't already created the Zombie Horde, of course. It's good value. It's 8 power for 3 energy. This is like Gladiator stats. Now, obviously, the downside of Gladiator is you're potentially bringing something out of their deck, which is either going to trigger a non-reveal, or it might not even destroy the card. The downside of Zombie Sentry is, in that situation, if you've got that much power, you've blocked the right location. Unlike Sentry, you can play Zombie Sentry at the right location. Sorry, I'm laughing and stifling a laughter there because I referred to both Sentry and Zombie Sentry as Sentry. So the sentence I've written is, unlike Sentry, you can play Sentry at the right location, which is unhinged and wrong, really. And it's a pretty powerful ability to re-trigger. If you can do this with Grandmaster or Wong, then yeah, this is like a potential 4 power play. And also, if you think about the Horde itself, the Horde is a manipulatable ability. So Zombie Giant Man is who I have in mind when I say this. If you can duplicate the Zombie Sentry play, given +4 power twice, your Horde is now 8 power, and then that means your Zombie Giant Man, again, if you're playing it on like a Wong, can be like, what, 8 to 9, 9 to 10. Then he does it, and then gains the power. So it's like something like a 14, but then he does it again. So it's like 12. Wait, is that 26? Jesus Christ. Zombie Giant Man can get absolutely huge. But the cons. Zombie Sentry himself has low base power, really. Like, 4 power. Like, it's not mind-blowingly low, but it is certainly nothing to get excited about. And to get the most value out of Zombie Sentry, you do have to essentially lock yourself out of a location. But what I'm saying is turn that weakness into a strength. So, the counters for Zombie Sentry. Cosmo is literally going to stop the on-reveal from happening. Laufey might be an interesting one because you want to play a lot of cards at the right location in order to make your zombie horde big. And yeah, Laufey can just, that means Laufey can steal lots of power, especially if your opponent doesn't have any cards there. Laufey just gets the free real estate steal on just your cards. Stardust, in general, will just stop zombie hordes from being created. Although Stardust might be coming down a little bit late for zombie hordes to actually be created, so it's probably only relevant later in the game. And Lady Deathstrike might be able to, possibly, again, it's quite late in the game, but might be able to destroy cards that you've got at the right location and then use Zombie Sentry, and it doesn't actually add that much. Synergies, however, as I said, Patriot, I think Patriot might be a cool one. We will look at a Patriot deck in a second. Wong, I think, is going to be great, and Zombie Giant Man. Basically spoken about all of these cards as synergy, so that's what we're dealing with. So, the budget deck is actually the one which I've pegged as a Patriot deck this week. That's sticking up a bit more. That is sticking up more than I'd like. I've made it worse somehow. That is... yeah. Also, hair watch. This is what we're dealing with. I used to have very dark brown hair. Or reasonably dark brown hair. But now, as you can see, going very grey. This is a scar that I've got. Can you see it? I can't. The light's too strong. I straight up can't see that. The light's too strong. Here we go. There we go. No, that's obviously a joke. I've made it much stronger. Oh, there it is. There is. See the scar hair? That, I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, I'm going to do the dickhead YouTuber thing. You need, if you want to know what my scar, you want to know how I got these scars. Oh God, really bad. Really bad. You want to know how I got it? I don't even know what that's from. It's Dark Knight, right? It's obviously the Dark Knight. I don't know how I got these scars. Should I do like a Heath Ledger Joker impression? Oh, sorry, did you think I was going to do a voice? It's just this. No, I could make a pencil disappear. He probably doesn't even say it. This is really bad. This is shit now. Good, but yeah, no, let me know in the comments if you want to know how I got this scar. I'm doing, sorry, no, I'm sorry, I'm doing the dickhead YouTube thing. You got to subscribe. Although, do you care? Quite possibly not. 0 comments. Right, so yeah, anyway, it is a Horde and Patriot deck. So why would you want to do that? Well, let me tell you. I'm not 100% sure. It just could be fun, that's all. That's we all play this game to have fun. You can attempt to block the right location early or as quick as possible with cards like Martyr, Mr. Sinister and Brood. That could be cool. That gives you a jump start on your zombie sentry and creating a bigger horde. We want a horde. We've also got the Hunger in here, and we've got Zombie Scarlet Witch as well. So we could have a decent sized horde. So you do want to block the right, I would say. Especially as cards like Brood and Mr. Sinister get a card with no power in there, and if on the final turn of the game you can do things like Patriot Mystique, that could be a lot of extra power you're getting in there that they might not necessarily expect. Especially if you are doing horde stuff, it could throw them off a little bit for the Patriot stuff. You can also get power in there with Blue Marvel, actually, and you also have Moonstone for more additional bans as well. However, another card you could have in there is Dazzler. You could even just start cooking your Zombie Scarlet Witch in there, to be honest, and use it as a horde generating location. Anyway, other stuff in here is just like classic Patriot stuff. So you have got, actually not that much classic Patriot stuff, just Patriot and Mystique really. But yeah, hey guys, it could be fun, who knows. The next deck I've got for you is called Attack the Block. This is my bread and butter, guys. I just love this. And by the way, it's a very interesting style of deck where you have a clear and distinct objective from turn 1, and that is block the right location as quickly as possible. We try and do that in this deck with Agent 13, with Maria Hill. We want to try and get Hawkeye down. Merlin can also come down for us and start generating some skills. Your mid game is ideally playing out those generated cards, either what Maria has generated or what Hawkeye has generated, or probably less so what Agent 13 has generated, because that's less reliable to be lower cost inherently. Zombie Sentry, I would not even be opposed to playing Zombie Sentry on the right location. And then the way you get power into it is with actually, you can get Merlin on the right location as well, because the Omniversal presence can also increase Merlin's power. But then you get power into it with, ideally this is the stuff you do towards the end of the game, to be fair guys, but Victoria Hand, Mr. Fantastic, Kahori. You can even play Sentry, because hopefully by turn 4, I mean it might be a little bit difficult to block by turn 4 to be fair, but hopefully you block the right location. Then when you play Sentry, the Void doesn't come down. But hey guys, if the Void does come down, you can get rid of it with Once and Future from Merlin. So there's cool stuff there. And then you sneak power in with like Claw. If it looks like you're going to win the location, then maybe you just win another location with Gore or Galactus. Simples. And let me say, decks with this very clear, distinctive objective are very fun to play. I think this is a fun style of deck. I would love to hear if you do play this new style of deck, if you've not played it before. Block Trap, let me know how you get on. Right, ultimately though, I do think that Zombie Sentry is a 3-star card. Sorry, that was a weird cough. Yeah, I do think Zombie Sentry is a 3-star card. I think he's good. I think he's solid. I don't think he's anything more than that. From a fun perspective, I think 3 stars. I've said 3. I actually think I'm going to have a blast with this card. So, yeah, I would maybe give him more. I don't know what I was thinking when I said 3, to be honest. For the archetype, I think he's definitely a good Horde card. I don't think he's the best Horde card. But, to be fair, he is the Horde card that adds the most Horde, isn't he? Because he can do up to 4. So maybe I'm underestimating him for the archetype a little bit. I've given him 3.5 there. And from a competitive standpoint, I do certainly think with the buffs to Zombie Captain Marvel and Zombie Giant Man, that the Horde decks will be popular and will be meta relevant. So I think 4 stars from that perspective. So ultimately, also the consideration that he's free. You just got to invest your time. So he's a snap. You should get him. You should play Grand Arena. Grand Arena is a great game mode. It's going to be fun. I'll see you in the arena. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you're new, please subscribe. If you stayed this far in the video, leave an aubergine emoji. That would be good. And I look forward to seeing other comments from you about my scar. Oh god, I should have said, how did I get the scar? What an idiot. Okay, I'm going to have to put this in at the end. Anyway, see you later. Bye.